はじめまして。我々はハンターズギルドという組織に所属する者。ありていに言えば狩人です。
待て。ウヌの闘士。視線を抜けてきたものの、それと見た。
あなたこそあれだけのモンスターをその身一つで打ち倒している。よほどの鍛錬を積んだのでしょう。だがその行動がこの地に与える影響は小さくはない。どうかここは拳を収めてはもらえないだろうか。
あの地味猛量どもを成敗するに何の躊躇があろう。ウヌが狩り人ならば言わずもがな。命とは脅かされれば相手の生命を絶つことを厭わぬもの。か弱くとも強くとも、どのような生き物にも相手を殺す欲動を湧き出す。
おっしゃることはわかります。しかし私たちが目指すこととは。
勝つ。これすべて強さ求むる者の業と知れ。覚悟なくば失せよ。
いや、そうはいかない。
されば示せ。我も殺意の深淵垣間見せん。一瞬戦撃。一撃にして千、戦撃にして一。極むればまたそれもかとなる。我の剣を受け殺意をその身に宿したか、狩り人よ。力なき者の見る道は力なき者の道に過ぎず、果てなき錬磨と強き者との死闘。ただそれのみが強さへの道のりと知れ。いいね。我が剣を収めたくばウヌが力こそを示すべし。話はそれからよ。
God, that would be. Imagine. Everything would have to be rewritten. If they found some evidence of a lost civilization with no connection to any known civilization that was advanced, that was living in the Grand Canyon.
Did you ever think about going
To the Grand Canyon?
to go and just be an outlaw and go see?
Yeah, how would you get in though? I mean, if they have black helicopters and they're scanning the sky, or scanning the ground, with some sort of a drone or a plane.
We go in. I should plan something. No, hold on.
What should we do?
I don't have a contract, all right? So this is already dangerously sitting here. But I got your back.
If I go.
Yeah, because even if they drag you out, questions have to be posed.
Right, my goodness.
What do you do? Well, you violated this here. Okay.
Yeah, well, when you think about how dangerous the Grand Canyon is overall, there's not a safe area. It's literally a canyon. You could fall at any of a million spots along the way to your death.
Have you been there?
Yes.
It's incredibly painted that picture. As you get closer to the edge, you can feel your amygdala going, oh, back up.
Yeah.
Like it's seriously dangerous.
Yeah. So all these things.
Van de bord finaal.
Sure. You want to believe, that's why it's so fun.
And I don't most of the stuff I talk about. But when I read a story, I try to find as much evidence as I can to support it, and I also want to find the other side. So that what we're left with is some truth. And not all stories can be fully debunked. And I've had my mind flipped a couple of times, crop circles, hollow some really crazy shit had flipped me around.
Crop circles.
So weird.
It's a weird one because when I first saw them, I'm like, what is that? And then I saw that these guys were doing it with boards and string. I was like, oh, just people being silly. And then I watched a whole documentary about how the energy that bent these things over caused these nodes to explode as if they'd been cooked in a microwave.
Correct.
What? And then you find out that the actual stalks are woven together.
Correct.
It's not that they're pressed down, they're woven together, and that these are complex geometric designs that would have taken people weeks to map out. And there's no footprints leading up to it, there's no roads, no machinery, no evidence of any use of any kind of machinery. And things appear like that, like people have flown over an area and then flown back an hour or two later, and there's immense football field size, perfect geometry that no one can explain how it's created.
Correct. So the nodes and the stalks, the node is like a knuckle on your fingers. So those are there for tropism, bent toward light. So what you're talking about is these things are bent over at right angles. Can only be done with high energy. But also around these crop circles, they're finding microscopic metallic spheroids in around the circles. And that's not a conspiracy. You're finding them. And there are these magnetic fields around the circles. And you can see videos online of people going into these crop circles, and their hands start to get red. Things are happening to them. So I went into crop circles thinking it was all guys with boards. But then you watch people make a crop circle. It's a mess. They can't do this. And you
強
cannot
さへと
bend
至る
the
道は
nodes of
た
reeds
だ
and
死闘の
weave
中
together
に
in a
の
purple. You can't do it.
い
So
ざ野に
that
出
was
て
as I'm
試
doing
合
research.
を求めん
All right, 99% of them are fake. There's this 1%I
なんて気
cannot
迫
explain.
まるで
Famous video,
先ほどの
you see the
豪輝さんのようです
circling around the field,
それに
the crop circle slowly starts to
目の
emerge.
錯覚か
Does that have to be
あ
debunked?
なたの
It's
姿まで
controversial because the guy released the video and didn't say offhand.
その両の眼で
Went
し
to
かと見
a
届けよ
visual effects house and released it.
あ
But
は
they
い
somehow put that thing
要
together
請を
in a matter of
その
hours, which
受理し
is
ます
suspicious. So in my episode,
承
on
知
this, all right, here's what the skeptics said. But you know, in the 1990s, to do that kind of VFX work, because it looks real. I don't know. To me, I'm on the fence about it. You know,
It's very convenient that they got the footage.
it is. You know, it is. Operation Blackbird was a famous operation in 1990 to try and capture the footage live by a great researcher named Colin Andrews. And
Oh, he's the guy that does the books on crop circles, right?
yes,
Yeah, he's all in.
he's all in, and he got a lot of support for Blackbird. And not only did nothing happen, he was totally embarrassed by it, and it was all like streaming live, and a lot of people were involved. He's embarrassed. We find out later that while they're waiting for the circles to happen, just a few miles away, there's a top secret military operation doing whatever they're doing. He doesn't know why. And then he gets a knock on the door from someone, you know, men in black, whoever it is, that first offers him money to stop his work, then threatens him with whatever, threatens his family, and he doesn't know who this guy is. They go back to the pictures, see the guy in the background, like one of the teenagers. So the theory is that some type of intelligence was embedded into Blackbird, made to discredit him, and that was kind of the end of Colin Andrews, because he was a legit researcher at that point. Now he's fringe. Now he's pseudoscience. But I get into that in the episode. That was something I discovered that I never knew. That there was intelligence involved. I didn't know that there was a military op, which is confirmed. It's wild.
So do you think they discredited him on purpose?
Yes.
Interesting. To make the crop circle thing look foolish. But like, what is the crop circle thing? Like, what is out of the believers, what is the best theory?
The believers is that it's a way to message craft. It's a landing site, or it's some type of communication.
Why would they do it in wheat fields?
I don't know. It doesn't make sense. You have the technology. Just
Yeah.
pick up the phone. There's better ways than just mowing wheat down. But I don't understand.
Do you know the one about the Mandelbrot set?
I've seen it.
Yeah. I think that one is really weird because I think it coincides with the ramification that concept by these people that are into this kind of geometry. They're like, oh, you know, somebody made the map concept, which is essentially an infinite route, like spectacular. It's from the Red's Dragon. It's age.
Those are the guys that run. You can see them doing it live.
the hell you going, mate? You okay?
That's the theory. Have you heard about ley lines? I know. It's this rid of the energy and surface the earth. And just like and these energy lines have an intersection. So now these intersections are things like Stonehenge, Pisa, here are the tracks. How do you find out here? So this
No footprints, no tracks.
yeah, but that could be it. Right.
Oh, that's the guy that did it.
覚悟の
God,
危険
okay.
に
Excellent.
手を当てぬ
Fucking incredible. That's artist did that? Yeah, the guy.
So the artist thing is a man named John Love, who's was part of
Are you looking for something, my friend?
A sociology experiment. He would make fake rock from circles to get a cat. Years later, Lundberg and some associates created a documentary called Mirage Man. It was an excellent documentary that's mostly about Richard Doty and his disinformation campaign on behalf of the Air Force.
Baby? Baby?
なしたか。殺意とは闘争の核。確信なき武器こそは打弱。なれどウヌはその殺意を己が信念覚悟にて消化させたという道のたどりは異なるだ。狩り人よ、
Esqueci o nome, nossa, você tá
ウヌの笑みはかの者を思わせる。よかろう。
では
ウヌらは己の意地を通し切った。指定の真似事はここで終わりよ。
I'm talking to a cat. You sound like a retard.
ただ一月を 千と万と尽きぬほどに重ねよ。頂きはその先にしかない。
どうかお達者で。
錬磨を怠るでないぞ、狩り人よ。
僕待ちきれないな。